The breaking story, Artemi Panarin has been traded from the Chicago Blackhawks to the Columbus Blue Jackets. Brandon Saad is going back to Chicago. Tyler Mott's part of the deal, as we have it up there. But Tyler Mott apparently one of the elements going from Chicago to Columbus as well.
There was some speculation, maybe a goaltender involved.
Okay. Anton Forsberg's going, okay, and then also some draft picks and that. So we got John Shannon joining us in about 10 minutes' time, so from Chicago. Well, Nick Kypreos, we started talking about the whole deal, and you asked the question or just asked the question about Connor McDavid's contract. And as Kipper articulated it, like Artemi Panarin took a bridge deal because a lot of money's being paid to Patrick Kane and Jonathan Toews, and he talked about the Edmonton situation, and right when Panarin's name came up, he said, yeah, they're screwed. They're screwed. They got like you got to pay the piper, and he's going to go somewhere. And then a minute or two later, it's confirmed he's a member of the Columbus Blue Jackets.
And you know, it's interesting. There was a lot of debate for a number of years about these bridge contracts and if they're good or if they're bad and stuff. But you're seeing in a lot of cases that maybe it's just good to lock these guys up long term and know exactly what your cost is going to be long term. I mean, that's a tough one, man. I mean, they're getting Brandon Saad back. He's been there before, which is great. But yeah, this is definitely just a situation they can't afford him.
Well, and it's a juggling act sometimes, too, is that you need the bridge because you don't have that space to lock them up and because you know what you've got coming down the road. But there's also been some tweets from the Chicago reporters saying that, A, Stan Bowman promised change, B, they have their financial issues, and finally that both Toews and Kane made it known that they missed Saad. They really like playing with the kid.
Yeah. And they like $10.5 million. And I'm not knocking them, but that's where you come out and have to move Panarin. Okay, so the draft pick movement's not a big one. It's Chicago gets Columbus's 6th-round pick tonight, and Columbus will get Chicago's 5th-round pick next year. So we'll get all the pieces together, but that is the breaking news. Artemi Panarin, the breadman, is heading to the Columbus Blue Jackets, and the Brandon Saad is heading back to Chicago. And one Dan Rosen just said Joel Quenneville's had a tough morning, I guess, as far as guys off his team. He left the coaches meeting. Didn't say in a huff or anything, don't know. But we'll come back. John Shannon is in Chicago. We'll check in there. Gord Stellick, Scott Morrison, Todd Alushko. You're listening to Hockey Central at noon on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, watching on Sportsnet and the NHL Network in the United States.